Namaste and Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. He's a man who's worn multiple hats through his glowing career. He's currently Union Minister, but somebody who keeps an eye on what's happening in and around us. Oftentimes we ask, have historic decisions of the past cost us strategic advantage today in the present? We as Bharat, are we compromised in our national security and our interests because of certain decisions that have been made by political entities or our leaders in the past? One of the issues that is currently the subject of conversation and debate is Kachativu, which means a barren island, a stretch of about 1.5 kilometers, 285 odd acres. It's right sandwiched between Bharat and Sri Lanka and that area. Joining us now is Union Minister Dr. Hardeep Puri. Hardeep Puri ji, namaste, Jai Hind. Sir, I'm going to thoda aapko mazi mein le jaunga in the sense in the past when you've served in Sri Lanka, you know this story. So let me ask you, what is your understanding of this issue of Kachativu?
Interesting that you should be asking me this question, because some of our friends in the opposition saying, yaar, kya mudda utha diya, 20-30 saal purana hai. ये 20-30 साल पुराना नहीं, ये 50 साल पुराना मुद्दा है और मुझे इसके बारे थोड़ी सी जानकारी इसलिए नहीं है कि मैंने श्रीलंका में, लक्ष्मी and I served in Sri Lanka. We were there during a very eventful phase जब पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री राजीव गांधी जी ने इंडिया श्रीलंका एग्रीमेंट वर्कआउट किया था प्रेसिडेंट जयवर्धने के साथ, and we were trying to bring ethnic peace on that island in what is now called Sri Lanka. It was then called Ceylon. But I remember this issue, and I have done some reading on this issue, because this year the event relates to 1974, and that's the year I joined the Indian Foreign Service. So I recall at that point of time, and that's the starting point of asking how, why, with whose approval. I think we would have forgotten about this issue. It's not been raised because of what you, my friend Anand, describe as serious strategic considerations. Okay? I don't think that is the issue. The issue boils down, in my view, to the nature of decision making at that point of time 50 years ago. You had a party in office in Tamil Nadu, the DMK. You had a Congress party in office here. Right from the point of, I'm a student of Sri Lankan history and South Asian history. I'm a great admirer of that country. I've devoted some of my, most difficult time and trying to wage peace there. So I'm talking like an admirer. The party in office in Tamil Nadu in 1974, point A. Point B, 2024. This is point B, 2024. The DMK issued its manifesto on 20th of March. And Anand, I'm going to read out paragraph 27 of the DMK manifesto. That paragraph 27 says, reclamation of Kachativu. Approximately 200 kilometers from Kachativu, the Kulasekara Pattinam rocket launch site is located. Okay? Measures will be taken. Now, watch the case. Measures will be taken to reclaim Kachativu to ensure India's security and to protect the welfare of the fishermen. Now, two issues involved here. Security of India and the welfare of fishermen. Okay? Basically, they want to go into the elections due shortly with the plank of taking back Kachativu. So the question arises, what was their attitude in the year of the Lord 1974? I will read out to you two short paragraphs from the record of discussions of the then Foreign Secretary, Shri Keval Singh, with the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Shri M. Karunanidhi, whose son, Shri M.K. Stalin, M. Karunanidhi Stalin, is today the Chief Minister. And what I will read out, and then you put an interpretation, I will not. He says, on the substance of the proposal, the Chief Minister indicated that he was inclined to accept the suggested solution. And we'll come to the suggested solution in a minute. His difficulty was, however, that he could not take the opposition into confidence without sharing with them the knowledge about the oil strike and convince them about the need to accept the compromise. So a compromise is being suggested by someone. We are not going into whether the compromise was good or bad. That's not the issue. He wanted to know whether the Prime Minister had sounded the opposition. Coming to the crust of, Foreign Secretary said that, to his knowledge, the proposal was known only to one or two senior cabinet ministers, and that probably Prime Minister would like to have the views of the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu before discussing it with the opposition leaders. So, my friend, we have a classic situation here. A civil servant who is a Foreign Secretary goes as emissary of the Prime Minister, then the late Srimati Indira Gandhi ji, to Chennai, then Madras, and tells the Chief Minister, here we have a proposal. That proposal involves a compromise. I can go into the substance of it if you like. The result of which is that the international maritime boundary will be looked at in such a way that Kachatibu falls into Sri Lankan waters. Okay, number one. Number two, now he says, the Chief Minister, having once again signified his general acceptance of the suggested solution, said that for obvious political reasons he could not be expected to take a public stand in favor of it. Otherwise, in 1974 you didn't take a public stand on it. Today you are in your manifesto saying we want to take it back. This is the short point. They agreed to something that the central government led by the Congress party, by the late Srimati Indira Gandhi, suggested to them, and then he goes on this para 15 to say something even better. The Chief Minister, however, assured Foreign Secretary that he will help keep the reaction at a low key and would not allow it to be played up. What does this mean? It means, in essence, that the DMK was a party to that decision. We are not going still into the good or bad, but it was a party to the decision. It collaborated with the central government in order to try and retain and subdue the public reaction which was going to come. This is the crux of the point. And the central government played along. Now, this is just what Kachativu. Let me give you one or two other facts which will provide you an indication of what the mindset of the leadership. And I'm a student of South Asian history. In 1956, mark the date, 1956, the government of Ceylon, headed by a prime minister called SWRD, Bandaranaike, Solomon West Ridgeway Dias Bandaranaike, passed the Sinhala Only Act. The Sinhala Only Act is the starting point of all the problems of Tamils in Sri Lanka. There are two kinds of Tamils, the plantation Tamils and the Indian Tamils there, and the Jaffna and Trinco Tamil. They started immediately, it affected their language, they became second-class citizens all over. But what happened in India? If you were then such a great champion of the Tamils, you should have done something to pursue their interests. But Panditji, and I'm not blaming him, I'm merely saying because of his lack of full understanding, he welcomed the Sinhala Only Act. When we served in Colombo, and I'm talking about the years 1984 December to 1988 or so, when I was there, I was political counselor, first secretary political. Very often at the High Commissioner's residence, Shrimati Bandaranaike, that is Srimavo Bandaranaike, would very often, in response to questions asked by different Indian diplomats or the press, that was a time when the Sri Lankan ethnic crisis or the problem of the Tamils was at its height. You know, there were Colombo riots in 1983. There were other problems. That was a time when the LTT became operative and very, very, very large, the other Tamil groups. You know, very often an answer used to be, this is recorded in books. She would say, if this had happened in my time, I would call my sister being Indira ji, and tell her to look the other ways while I sort out the problem. So all I'm saying is, let's not bring in subterfuge in this. no, we did this and there, we gave up something in 76, they were fishing, right? This is not about fishing. They get our fishes. Yes, it is about fishing. But whether it helps you or not, we are not going into the substance of the decision. We are saying that there is at the very least a misrepresentation of facts here because the then DMK government leader actively collaborated with this decision to hand over Kachativu. This has come out as a result of the RTI. And I read out to you the paragraphs 15 and 16, which means then they were saying something. Today they're saying we want to take Kachativu back. Have they today acknowledged that they were party to this Kachativu decision? Fair to God, India is a large country, whether 280 acres matter or not. We are not getting into that discussion. We are getting into this deliberate creation of a false narrative in order to mislead people. And I have my learned, many of my retired senior colleagues are not even serious students of history.
One of the explanations given, and would you agree and bear with us on that? One is Mr. Chidambaram says that the exchange of 6 lakh Indian Tamils happened. So that settlement came through. The other part that DMK says is 74, yes, we may have agreed, but in principle, we were promised by the Congress that the fishing rights will not go away. The fishermen will continue to be able to tread those waters.
Bhai, aap DMK ko ye kahiye, you work out your internal dynamics. What did you agree to in public? What did you agree to in public? When did you link these two? Produce the document and what was supposed to come. Then we can ask the Congress party what happened. But you can't make private deals on something like this. My question in 74 when I was in the Foreign Service probationer was simply this. That my understanding of the Indian Constitution is that if you want to do something on territory, you have to seek Parliament's permission. Is that correct or not? Now, whose permission? If the then Foreign Secretary is saying that the Prime Minister has not even consulted more than 1 or 2 ministers, and the leader in Tamil Nadu is saying that he cannot publicly bring the opposition in. So they were trying to do something. Now the extent, I've been around too long, I'm too old. I mean, strategic, India is a strong country, India can defend itself, and India can look after its interests. We are merely talking about what I think is a highly regrettable stage in our relations with a South Asian country where whatever you did, right or wrong, I'm not even getting, 2015 RTI replies. How does it say? It merely, 2015, the thing had already been done. This was not in the public domain. This talk about the Tamil Nadu and center's discussion was not in the public domain there. Today it's in the public domain. Now in 2015, they're answering the RTI in that context. And then subsequent queries, fisherman, ye hua, Indian, Indian ke saath deal kab hui, Indian Tamils ke, wo pata to kar lo. You're jumping 10 years there also. But I don't want to get into that. Let's not get into any of these things. Shastri Srimavo, Shastri ji was there in the 60s. Srimavo was there. We are talking now here about 74. And we are talking about 74. We started with 56. We're talking about 60s, 70s. 87, we come to the India-Sri Lanka agreement. It's a long history. We are talking here about the limited point about the Kachativu decision.
But what does it do today? Why bring it up now? Yes, these documents have become public. The question being asked is, it's being structured with a political intent because 25th of March or 6th of March, he applies for it. Within 6 days or 7 days, the RTI is automatically answered. Why is this being done and what's the point of doing it right now?
Look, tell me something. Tamil Nadu politics is one issue. If somebody has got these facts and wants to bring it out, that's a decision with that individual or the party can say, I welcome these facts coming out. At least now we can have a more balanced and comprehensive understanding of what happened then. Are we going any further than this? I'm not aware of that. All I'm saying is stop producing false narratives. The man is reacting to paragraph 27 of the DMK manifesto, which was issued as late as 20th March. So when did he go on the RTI? Tell me.
6th of March, yeah.
Huh? Whenever he went, 20th March, they put this in their manifesto. So the question of what we want to do is not relevant. You ask the DMK, "Bhai, uncle, us samay to maan gaye the, ab kya wapas lena chahte ho?" It's a question that should be asked to them. They're turning it around central government. Central government has nothing to do with this. This central government the BJP government led by the Honorable Prime Minister has on number of occasions bent over backwards to help that country. I am associated with the Ministry, Petroleum and Natural Gas. Do you want to know how much we helped them during this energy crisis? I can't remember. I think $4 billion. $4 billion. You know how many $4 billion is in 1,000 crores? Here we are doing this. It's not as if we are picking on a small country. We bailed them out. When other things were not falling in place, I don't want to go into the geopolitics. Into कितना Chinese influence है, तो हम्बन टोटा में क्या हुआ, वो कोलंबो पोर्ट में क्या हुआ, क्या
यहाँ पर भी ऑयल ब्लॉक्स की बात हो रही है कि वो चाइनीज का ऑक्शन होगा इन द डेल्फ्ट आइलैंड।
मैं तो ये बता रहा, ये तो नैरेटिव करेक्शन है, ये तो नैरेटिव करेक्शन है। और तमिलनाडु, which is such an important state, you know, PM is one of the most active and strong supporters of the Tamil linguistic and cultural this thing. You know, all this Tamil and Kashi and Saurashtra.
Yeah,
and he's
Somnath.
And so that is a matter of pride. With Sri Lanka, they desire to have good relations, one thing, but it's this false narrative which is being introduced here. And what was the motivation of that decision? Come on, own up. That's the point.
Many are asking, is it actually going to resonate on ground? Or is it
whether it resonates on the ground, somebody's taken it up. I mean, and I have dealt with my Tamil friends, both in Jaffna, Trinco, Batticaloa, in Sri Lanka, and with here. These are very, very proud people. Let them know the facts.
So you believe that raising the Kachativu issue at this point only exposes the hypocrisy of the DMK and the Congress?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think this discussion is confined to that.
It's confined to that. So it's not about getting back Kachativu or securing rights.
Do you think I take this paragraph seriously? Coming in a DMK manifesto that measures will be taken to reclaim Kachativu. अरे तुम स्टेट गवर्नमेंट क्या मेजर लोगे कचतीवु का? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से बात तो करो. And to ensure India's security and to protect the welfare of the fishermen. It's a central government which is protecting the security and the welfare of fishermen all along.
But do you believe that these decisions have compromised one strategic advantage to livelihood?
I'm not going to get in. Look, I'm a trained foreign service officer. I spent 39 years in the foreign service, more than most people. And these are very serious things. Compromise. Interest, yes. Why? Why am I talking about interest? There was an attorney general there, a highly respected attorney general called MC Sitalwar.
Yeah.
He says, we have a reasonably good case, we could put up a robust defense, etc. But there are other guys who turn in, हमारा केस अच्छा नहीं था इसलिए, अरे भाई हम जो litigation करते हैं दिन सुबह दिन में और रात को, ये केस की स्ट्रेंथ पे करते हैं हमारा इंटरेस्ट होता है, तो हम आप इंटरेस्ट को डिफेंड करना चाहते हैं, वो हम करते हैं. तो लिए बगैर somebody goes quietly, has a discussion, अच्छा हम we'll agree with you, but हम अभी बात नहीं कर सकते. Public में we will not support it, in parliament we'll oppose it, but and you go ahead on that basis.
Well, I'm going to park Kachativu aside for
you leave it in that 280 acres there. You want to leave it there?
No, I don't want to leave the 280 acres there, but you and me know that you are saying that you will not cross a particular line, but I'm pushing you on that line, saying that how much of this has hurt Bharat in this case? So many fishermen have been caught.
That's not the issue. I am not getting into that debate.
Well, that's clearly because they say fishermen and national security. These are the two pegs for the DMK also.
वो तो बात का पतंगड़ बना रहा है. वो तो बात का पतंगड़. पहले तुमने सीड कर दिया, उसके बाद तुम्हें फिशरमैन वेलफेयर याद आ गई. मैं तो उसको छोड़ रहा हूं. आप जो सवाल पूछना मुझसे पूछिए, but you know, I've been around in this game long enough. I'll only answer what I want to answer.
So you are saying that whether or not the BJP benefits from it politically in Tamil Nadu in the Lok Sabha
BJP is on an India first plank. I don't think the BJP measures every statement it makes. Basically, हमें political फायदा होगा कि नहीं. अरे political फायदा होता था 2014 में हम एक white paper निकाल देते कि इकोनॉमी के कितनी सत्यानाश किया इन्होंने 2004 और 2014 में. हमने नहीं किया. उस समय हम करते इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में हमारी धुनाई होनी थी. You understand? So we kept a lid on it. We produced the white paper in 2024. That is what is called mature country first thinking. So country first thinking by India, we have to live with our neighborhood. Some neighbors are totally beyond control. The one on the western side. उनको भी we are dealing with it. पर हमने इनकी सबकी मदद की है. आप मदद की क्या बात कर रहे हैं हम बात कर रहे हैं $4 बिलियन उनको पिछले कुछ महीनों में हमने उनको बेल आउट पैकेज दिया है। कुछ इसमें ग्रांट है, कुछ बाकी चीजें हम इनको अलग तरीके से मदद कर रहे हैं। So we are a big country. We're going to be a $5 and then a $10 trillion economy, and we know how to conduct ourselves in the international arena.
Right. Well, final 5 minutes, sir, I'm going to take from you. And we are sitting in the national capital, so I have to ask you this. आपने कहा we are a party which
It would be so disappointing if you didn't ask it.
we are a party that puts India first, is what you said about the BJP. But the allegation is that you are now a party or an institution or a government that is putting Kattar Imandars into jail. You are going after the opposition.
एक बार. We are a country anchored in the rule of law. Okay? We have a constitution. ठीक है? You've got a leader, young leader, जिसको मैं out of affection मैं युवा नेता बताता हूँ. The other day he was speaking in Ramlila ground. Why am I bringing up Ramlila ground? Because this question you're asking about Delhi is there. To me, it looked like a truncated assembly of the I full stop, N full stop, D full stop, I full stop, A Ghamandiya alliance. It looked to me like that. There's a guy who started, I should be more respectful. There's a Indian Revenue Service Income Tax Department officer who started off joining an Andolan produced by Shri Anna Hazare ji, highly respected figure, where he sat in the same Ramlila ground, कोई 12-13 साल पुराने, and said कि हम करप्शन के खिलाफ एक जन आंदोलन बनाएंगे. करप्शन कौन कर रहा था उस समय? उन्हीं की वर्ड्स में, ये कांग्रेस पार्टी कर रही थी, इसको भी अंदर कर दो, उसको भी अंदर कर दो. ओके, सडनली आप वहां पे जाके जिनको आप सत्ता से हटाना चाहते थे उसके हाथ नहीं गले लग गया. ठीक है, उस भाषण में उन्होंने कुछ और कहा. उन्होंने कहा कि दिस इज अ रिग्ड मैच और अ फिक्स्ड मैच. इलेक्शन कमिश्नर भी आप ही के हैं, जुडिशरी भी आप ही की है. अरे मेरे अंकल, जब आपके फेवर में आता है कम से कम उसका तो स्वागत करो. तो शुरू में ईवीएम भी खराब है, जुडिशरी भी खराब है, प्रेस भी आपने खरीद ली है, इलेक्शन कमीशन भी आपने खरीदा है. ये कंट्री टुकड़े टुकड़े हो जाएगा. और बीजेपी का कोई कार्यकर्ता कहता है कि संविधान, जैसे हम 400 पार हो गए, हम संविधान को भी बदल देंगे. अरे भाई, एंड कंट्री विल बी इन फ्लेम्स. सो मेरा एक मित्र है, मतलब somebody highly respected, महेश जेठमलानी. I saw a tweet by him. He called him, roundly critical of the young leader, called him the chief arsonist. मेरे दिमाग में वो बैठ गई. ये जिस किस्म की पॉलिटिक्स राहुल गांधी कर रहा है ना, चीफ आर्सोनिस्ट, ये शुरू केजरीवाल जी ने की थी. राहुल गांधी has become affected by the Kejriwal bug on arson. So what is Kejriwal existing? He has made accusations in the past. ये भी खराब है, वो भी खराब है. अरे मतलब रिग्रेटेबली हमारे जो पार्टी के जो बड़े नेता है जिनके खिलाफ इसने बोला, उन्होंने जब डेफेमेशन सूट किया, इसने माफी मांग के उन्होंने दे डिडंट परस्यू इट. पर आने वाले समय में बताता हूं, ये बहुत ऐसे डेफेमेशन चार्जेस लगने वाले हैं. कट्टर ईमानदार इज अ सर्टिफिकेट ही हैज गिवन टू हिमसेल्फ. आप सेल्फ सर्टिफिकेशन में बिलीव करते हैं? मैं उठ के कह दूं कि मैं ये हूं, मैं वो हूं. अरे भाई, मैं हूं जो हूं. पैदा हुआ था 1 साल में, अभी इतनी मेरी वायर, बाय बाय हो जाऊंगा बाद में. आप कट्टर ईमानदार क्यों गिरफ्तार हुए? 9 बार इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट ने इसको समन्स भेजे. 9 बार. When he did not respond on the 9th occasion, they paid him a visit to his residence and took him in. You know what one of the ASGs today, I think Mr. Raju, he said in the court? It's revealing. So let's hold our horses. There's enough evidence around, WhatsApp messages, other evidence, which will come to show कितना ईमानदार कौन है, वो कट्टर ईमानदार है या कट्टर कुछ और है.
Everybody is saying ये 400 पार के चक्कर में ये सब चल रहा है. This is all happening because you set a target of 400 पार. तो इसलिए सब
नहीं, वो तो नैरेटिव बना लेते. अब एक बात देखिए, हम ये चुनाव को अप्रोच कर रहे हैं बेस्ड ऑन द इक्वेशन गुड गवर्नेंस इज गुड पॉलिटिक्स. गुड गवर्नेंस मींस 10 साल के जो हमारे आंकड़े हैं डेवलपमेंट के, व्हाट वाज द सिचुएशन इन 2014, व्हाट इज इट इन 2024? द फैक्ट्स स्पीक फॉर देमसेल्व्स. वी कुड इजीली से हीज आर द फैक्ट. वी हैव डन एनालिसिस कंस्टिट्यूएंसी वाइज. व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इन ईच कंस्टिट्यूएंसी? दिल्ली की 7 कंस्टिट्यूएंसीज हैं. हाउ मच सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स हैव पुट मनी देयर? और इन्होंने क्या किया? तो एक दिन मैं क्यों आपको बता रहा हूं, वन ऑफ देम मेड अ स्टेटमेंट, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने क्या दिल्ली के लिए. अरे बताएंगे आपको कंस्टिट्यूएंसी वाइज क्या हमने किया और आपने क्या किया. बट वी आर ऑल्सो now the process is beginning. No, I think Kejriwalji has dialed a wrong number. It seemed to be an attractive startup when it was conceived, conceptualized and implemented. Today, I think they have even if I have to say it, an existential crisis on their hands. They have to now worry about what's going to happen to them. How many of them, I use the word which I said this is a new age Rabdi Devi ji in the making. Abhi kal maine padha ke 52 of their AAP MLAs went to see her. So, that's open to any political party. You choose your leaders, you choose the issues you fight on. We are fighting on development and Rahul Gandhi wants a caste census. Then he says India will go up in flame. He's almost encouraging that inflammability or the inflaming of India. So what can I say about people like this?
I know you've got a packed schedule and you've taken time out to speak with us, but with the promise of a longer conversation.
100%. Whenever you've got the time.
Okay. It's already there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.